after learning I wasn't invited to her wedding, our friends canceled her bridal shower. Kay and I were close for 12 years. We met in 7th grade when she transferred to my school. I was the one who introduced her to our friend group. For years, we were inseparable. Same lunch table, same late night calls when boys broke our hearts, same weekend sleepovers where we plan our futures. She was supposed to be my maid of honor someday. I was supposed to be hers. So when my best friend Rob casually mentioned he was going to her wedding in 3 weeks, I smiled and said, "That's great. Have fun." He stopped mid-sandwich. "Wait, you're not going?" I shook my head. Didn't get an invite. His face went from confused to genuinely shocked. "That makes no sense. I got mine 2 months ago. Actually, literally everyone from our old group got one. Even Sarin got a +1 and he only hung out with us for like 6 months senior year." I forced a laugh. "It's fine. We drifted apart after graduation. Her wedding. Her choice." But Rob looked bothered. "She literally told me last week she was so excited the whole gang was getting back together for her big day." Those were her exact words. I went home that night and scrolled through Facebook. Sure enough, there were posts from our old friends talking about outfit shopping for Kay's wedding. Group photos with captions like, "Can't wait to celebrate Kay." Even people I barely remembered from high school were tagged in her wedding countdown posts. I wasn't in any of them. 2 days later, my phone rang at 8 a.m. It was Kay, and she was furious. "Why are you trying to ruin my wedding?" she screamed before I could even say hello. "What are you talking about? Don't play dumb. You've been telling everyone you weren't invited. You're playing the victim and turning people against me." I sat up in bed completely lost. "Kay, I haven't told anyone anything. Rob asked if I was going and I said I didn't get an invite. That's it. Well, now 5 people have called me asking why you're not on the guest list. Do you know how embarrassing that is? Fix this." She hung up. I immediately called Rob. "Did you tell people about our conversation?" "Yeah. Look, I felt terrible that you were left out. I asked a few people if they knew what happened. I guess word spread. Within hours, our entire friend group was texting about it. Nobody could figure out why Kay excluded me specifically. I created a Facebook group chat with everyone. I wrote, 'Hey guys, please leave Kay alone about the wedding. I'm genuinely fine with not going. Weddings are stressful enough without drama. Let's just support her.' Everyone agreed. The chatter died down. I thought that was the end of it. Then yesterday, Kay made a public Facebook post. She didn't name me directly, but it was painfully obvious. She wrote about having to hire security to prevent uninvited guests who can't take a hint from crashing her wedding. She said she'd given security my photo to identify potential gate crashers. I stared at my screen in disbelief. I had zero plans to go anywhere near her wedding. The comment section erupted. Friends and family members started questioning her publicly. Someone wrote, "If I'd known it would be this dramatic, I wouldn't have RSVP'd. Yes." Another person commented, "This seems really mean-spirited." 20 minutes later, my phone rang again. Kay was screaming so loud, I had to hold the phone away from my ear. "You've ruined everything. If my bridal shower gets canceled, it's your fault." "Kay, I literally asked everyone to leave you alone. I haven't done anything." She hung up on me again. By that evening, the enthusiasm around her wedding had completely evaporated. Friends who'd been excitedly planning her bridal shower for weeks suddenly went quiet. Group chats went dead. Nobody was posting about outfit choices anymore. This morning I woke up to a text from her maid of honor in our group chat. She wrote that the shower wasn't actually canceled, just relocated and happening today with a special guest of honor. Confused, I checked Kay's Instagram story and felt my entire world tilt. There was Kay, arm around a girl I'd never seen before, with the caption, "Found my real maid of honor, the sister I should have had all along." The comments revealed this girl had apparently been at every wedding planning session I didn't know about. Then I got a Facebook notification. I'd been tagged in a post. It was a photo from my high school graduation, except someone had photoshopped this stranger's face over mine in every picture with Kay. 12 years of memories, erased and rewritten. The final comment on the post, from Kay herself, said, "Funny how you remember things wrong sometimes, isn't it?" And I realized she wasn't just replacing me in her wedding. She was trying to erase me from our entire history. I sat there staring at those doctored photos for probably 20 minutes, just scrolling through image after image where my face had been carefully replaced. There was the homecoming dance photo where we'd worn matching dresses. Gone. The picture from our senior trip to the beach. Replaced. Even the candid shot from her 18th birthday party, the one where we were laughing so hard we'd both ended up crying, now showed the stranger in my place. My hands were actually shaking. I tried calling Rob back, but he didn't answer. So I texted him instead. "Did you see Kay's Instagram?" 3 dots appeared immediately. Then, yeah, what the actual fuck? At least someone else was seeing this. I wasn't going crazy. My phone buzzed again. It was Jenny from our old group. "Girl, I'm so sorry. This is insane. Wanna grab coffee?" Before I could respond, another text came through, and another. Apparently, everyone had seen the posts. Within an hour, I had messages from at least 15 people, all expressing some version of shock or sympathy. But here's the thing. Not one of them was canceling their RSVP. They were all still going to the wedding. I get it, I guess. They'd bought outfits, arranged travel, taken time off work, and honestly, part of me didn't want them to cancel. I didn't want to be the reason Kay's big day got ruined, even after everything she'd done. So I texted Jenny back. "Thanks, but I'm okay. Really, just confused." I guess. Do you have any idea why she's doing this? Jenny asked. That was the million-dollar question, wasn't it? I racked my brain trying to think of something, anything I might have done to piss Kay off this badly, but I came up blank. The last time we'd actually hung out was maybe 6 months ago. We'd grabbed lunch between her dress fittings. She'd shown me pictures of the venue, talked about the flower arrangements, asked if I thought rosé or champagne would be better for the reception. I'd smiled and nodded and given my opinions like always. She never mentioned not inviting me, never hinted that anything was wrong. I started typing out a long message to her, asking for an explanation, demanding to know what I'd done, but I deleted it before sending. What was the point? She'd made her choice clear. Instead, I did something I probably shouldn't have. I went through our old text messages, scrolling back months and months. And you know what I found? Nothing. Absolutely nothing that would explain this. Just 2 weeks before I found out about the wedding, she'd sent me a meme about bad bridesmaids with the caption, "Thank God my girls aren't like this, LOL." I'd responded with a laughing emoji. 3 weeks before that, she'd texted at 2 a.m. after a fight with her fiancé. "I don't know what I'd do without you," she'd written. "You've always been there for me." I'd stayed up talking her through it like I always did. The cognitive dissonance was making my head hurt. How do you go from, "I don't know what I'd do without you," to photoshopping someone out of your life in the span of a few weeks? My phone buzzed again. This time it was a number I didn't recognize. "Hi, is this the girl from Kay's post?" The message read. My stomach dropped. Great. Now, strangers were getting involved. "Who is this?" I typed back. "My name's Tyler. I'm engaged to Kay." I literally had to read that 3 times before it sank in. Kay's fiancé was texting me. "I saw your name come up in some Facebook comments and I'm really confused," he continued. "Kay told me you moved abroad years ago and you two lost touch. But people are saying you're local?" I stared at my phone, my mind racing. She told him I moved abroad? That was her explanation for why I wasn't invited? "I live 20 minutes away from where we grew up," I responded. "I've been here the whole time." The 3 dots appeared and disappeared several times. Finally, "Can you send me screenshots of Kay's recent posts? The ones everyone's talking about? I'm blocked from seeing them on her page for some reason." That was weird. Why would Kay block her own fiancé from seeing certain posts? But I did it anyway. I sent him everything. The photoshopped graduation photos, the posts about the bridal shower, her Instagram story with the new maid of honor, all of it. He didn't respond for a long time. Long enough that I started to worry I'd made a huge mistake. What if this made things worse? What if he showed Kay and she came after me even harder? Finally, at almost midnight, my phone lit up with a message. "Thank you for being honest with me. There's clearly a lot I don't know." And that was it. No explanation, no follow-up, just that one cryptic message. I barely slept that night, honestly. Every time I closed my eyes, I kept seeing those doctored photos. My face, carefully erased, replaced, like I'd never mattered at all. The next morning, I woke up to chaos. Kay had blocked me on everything. Facebook, Instagram, even LinkedIn, which was almost funny because we'd never interacted on there anyway. But our mutual friends were blowing up my phone. "Kay's having a meltdown," Rob texted. "Tyler confronted her last night and she's telling everyone you're obsessed with ruining her happiness." "She posted your address on Facebook," Jenny added. "Said she needs protection from a stalker. People are reporting it, but it's still up. My address, my actual home address. Posted publicly with some unhinged caption about how I'd been stalking her and she feared for her safety." I felt sick. This wasn't just petty anymore. This was dangerous. I immediately reported the post to Facebook, but who knows how long that would take. In the meantime, hundreds of people, including people I didn't know, now had my address and thought I was some kind of obsessed stalker. "This is insane," I texted Rob. "I need to do something." "Like what?" he responded. That's when I had probably my worst idea ever. Or my best idea. I honestly still can't tell which. "I'm going to the bridal shower," I typed. Rob sent back about 15 question marks. "Not to crash it," I clarified. "Just to talk to her, face to face. This has gotten way too out of hand." "That seems like a spectacularly bad plan," Rob wrote. He was probably right, but I was desperate and angry, and so tired of being painted as some kind of villain when I literally hadn't done anything wrong. I spent the next few hours printing things out. Text messages between Kay and me from the past year. Screenshots showing I'd been local the whole time, not living abroad like she'd told Tyler. Facebook posts where she'd tagged me in our hometown just months ago. Evidence. Proof that I wasn't crazy, wasn't lying, wasn't the bad guy here. The bridal shower was at a country club about 40 minutes away. I knew the address because it had been discussed in our group chat before Kay kicked me out. As I drove there, my hands were sweating so badly I could barely grip the steering wheel. What was I doing? This was insane. I should turn around, go home, let Kay have her party and her wedding and her photoshopped life, but then I remembered that post with my address. The stranger's face replacing mine in a dozen photos. 12 years of friendship erased like it meant nothing. I kept driving. The country club parking lot was packed. I recognized several cars from our friend group. My heart was pounding so hard I could feel it in my throat as I walked toward the entrance, clutching my folder of printouts like a life raft. The event was in a private room off the main hall. I could hear laughter and music as I approached. Through the doorway, I saw Kay in the center of it all, wearing a white sundress and a tiara, surrounded by gifts and balloons and smiling faces. And next to her, the girl from the photos, the replacement. I took a deep breath and walked in. The room went silent so fast it was almost funny, like someone had hit a pause button on the whole scene. Kay's face drained of color when she saw me. "What are you doing here?" "We need to talk," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. "All of us." "Security!" Kay shrieked. Someone call security. She's not supposed to be here. But before anyone could move, I started handing out the papers. To Jenny, to Rob's girlfriend, to Kay's aunt, to anyone who would take them. These are our text messages from the past 2 months, I said loudly, including one from August where Kay called me her forever bestie. I pulled out another stack. These are Facebook posts from this spring where she tagged me in our hometown, not abroad, here. People started reading. The silence shifted from shocked to uncomfortable. Kay lunged forward and tried to grab the papers from someone's hands, but her maid of honor, the replacement, stepped in her way. Kay, what is this? The girl asked quietly. She's lying, Kay stammered. She doctored all of those. She's obsessed with me. I have the originals on my phone, I interrupted. Anyone can verify them. Check the metadata. Check Facebook's edit history. It's all real. The maid of honor took one of the printouts and started reading. Her face changed as she scrolled through the messages. Kay, you told me you guys hadn't spoken in 5 years. That's not we. You said she'd moved to Europe and you'd lost touch. The girl's voice was rising now. You said she was jealous and unstable and that's why you had to cut her off. Kay's mouth opened and closed but no sound came out. Who are you? I asked the replacement directly. She looked at me and I saw something shift in her expression. Understanding, maybe, or guilt. My name is Brooklyn, she said slowly, and I think we need to talk. Somewhere private. Kay grabbed Brooklyn's arm. Don't you dare. Don't you. But Brooklyn shook her off and walked toward me. Come on, there's a patio outside. I followed her, aware of every eye in that room, watching us leave. My hands were still shaking, but now it was from adrenaline instead of fear. We stepped onto a small outdoor terrace overlooking a golf course. Brooklyn lit a cigarette with trembling fingers. I'm Tyler's ex-girlfriend, she said without preamble. I blinked. What? Tyler, Kay's fiancé. We dated for 3 years before Kay. She took a long drag and exhaled slowly. Kay and I became friends about a year ago. She reached out on Instagram, said she'd seen my art and wanted to commission a piece. We started talking, meeting for coffee. She seemed really cool. Okay, I said slowly, not sure where this was going. Then she started asking about Tyler. Innocent stuff at first. You know, how we met, why we broke up, if I still talk to him. I thought she was just being friendly. Brooklyn laughed bitterly. Turns out she was researching, learning everything about him through me so she could basically become his perfect woman. My stomach turned. About 6 months ago, she showed up at one of his work events. Total coincidence, she said. They hit it off, started dating, got engaged after 4 months. Brooklyn flicked ash over the railing, and the whole time, she kept me close, made me her friend, her confidant, said I was like the sister she never had. Why? I asked. Control, Brooklyn said simply. She wanted to make sure I wasn't a threat, that I wouldn't warn Tyler about who she really is. She turned to face me fully. 2 weeks ago, she offered me $5,000 to pose as your replacement in photos. Said you'd moved away and she wanted to update her memories with someone who was actually in her life now. Jesus Christ. I needed the money, Brooklyn admitted. I'm an artist. Rent in this city is insane. So I took the job, photoshopped myself into your pictures, showed up to wedding planning sessions and played along, but I didn't know the full story. I thought you really had moved. I thought this was just some weird rich girl project. Kay's not rich, I said automatically. Brooklyn raised an eyebrow. She told me her dad owns 3 hotels and her mom's a surgeon. Her dad works in hotel management and her mom's a nurse. Of course she does, Brooklyn muttered. She pulled out her phone and started scrolling. There's more, a lot more. Kay's been lying about basically everything. She showed me screenshots, messages between Kay and various people, all containing different versions of the same stories. In some, she had a college degree from Stanford. In others, she dropped out to pursue modeling. She told one person her parents were dead, told another they were millionaires. How did you get these? I asked. She uses my laptop sometimes when she's at my place, leaves her Facebook logged in. Brooklyn smiled grimly. I started paying attention after the whole address posting thing. That seemed unhinged even by Kay's standards. So I went digging. Why are you telling me this? Because I'm done being part of whatever this is. Brooklyn stubbed out her cigarette. And because Tyler deserves to know the truth before he marries her. What about the money she paid you? I'll give it back. I don't want it anymore. She met my eyes. Will you help me? We can compile everything. Show Tyler. Show everyone. I should have said no. Should have walked away and let this dumpster fire burn without me. But I thought about my address being posted online. About my face erased from a dozen photos. About 12 years of friendship treated like it never existed. Yeah, I said. I'll help. We spent the next 3 hours in Brooklyn's car in the parking lot, going through everything, creating a shared Google Doc with screenshots, links, dates, a comprehensive timeline of Kay's lies. She told Tyler I'd moved to London, told Brooklyn I was a jealous ex-friend who'd tried to sabotage her relationship, told her parents she was paying for grad school when she wasn't enrolled anywhere. And the worst part? She'd been systematically stealing from her parents for months. Brooklyn found Venmo requests, PayPal transfers, even forged checks, all made out to Kay, all with notes like tuition payment or textbook funds. This is at least $15,000, Brooklyn said, tallying up the amounts. We need to tell her parents, I said. Tonight? I nodded. Before the wedding. Before anyone else gets hurt. Brooklyn looked at me for a long moment. You're really not what she said you were. Neither are you. We drove to Kay's parents' house just as the sun was setting. Her mom answered the door, confusion crossing her face when she saw us together. Is Kay here? I asked. No, she's at her shower. Aren't you supposed to be there, Brooklyn? We need to talk to you and Kay's dad, Brooklyn said. It's important. Kay's mom, Patricia, led us into the living room where her dad, James, was watching TV. He muted it when he saw our faces. What's going on? He asked. I let Brooklyn start. She explained about the photoshopping, about being paid to pose as my replacement, about Kay's lies regarding my whereabouts. Then I showed them the financial records. Patricia's hand flew to her mouth. James went very still, the kind of still that comes before an explosion. We've been giving her money for grad school, Patricia whispered. She said she got into a program at State. She's not enrolled anywhere, Brooklyn said gently. We checked. James stood up and walked to a desk in the corner. He came back with a folder of bank statements. His hands shook as he went through them, checking dates against our printouts. $15,000, he said finally. His voice was hollow. We've given her $15,000 since January. Patricia started crying. Not loud, dramatic sobs, just quiet tears rolling down her face as she stared at the evidence in front of her. There's more, I said softly. I showed them the screenshots of Kay's lies about them, about their jobs, their income, their relationship. She told people we were dead, Patricia read aloud. She told someone we were dead. James sat down heavily, his face gray. The wedding is in 2 days. Tyler doesn't know any of this, Brooklyn said. I think he should. We'll tell him, James said. Tonight. We'll drive to his place and tell him everything. He looked at me. I'm sorry for what she did to you, for what she's become. I don't know when or how this happened, but I'm sorry. It's not your fault, I said. But Patricia shook her head. We enabled it. Every time she told a small lie and we let it go. Every time she manipulated someone and we made excuses. She wiped her eyes. No more. They asked us to wait while they drove to Tyler's apartment. Brooklyn and I sat in our cars in the driveway, sharing a pizza she'd ordered. Both of us too wired to actually be hungry. Think she'll find out we're here? Brooklyn asked. Probably. The shower must be over by now. As if on cue, my phone started ringing. Kay's number. I let it go to voicemail. She called again. And again. Finally, I answered. You bitch, she screamed. What did you do? What did you tell them? The truth, I said calmly. You're lying. You're trying to ruin my life. Kay, your parents found the bank statements. They know you stole from them. A pause. Then, I needed that money. They owe me. They've always been stingy and controlling, and they gave you $15,000 for school you weren't attending. It's not stealing if they're my parents. Her voice was rising to a hysterical pitch. And Tyler will understand. He loves me. He'll forgive me for anything. He's talking to your parents right now, I said. They're showing him everything. The line went dead. 20 minutes later, Kay's car screeched into the driveway. She jumped out, still in her white sundress and tiara, mascara running down her face. Where are they? She demanded, storming up to my car window. Tyler's place. She yanked open my door. This is your fault. All of it. If you just stayed out of my life, you're the one who posted my address online, I said, getting out to face her. You're the one who photoshopped me out of photos. You started this. I had to, don't you get it? She was crying now, angry, desperate tears. Tyler mentioned you once, at a party 2 years ago, before we even started dating. He said something about how you seemed like the kind of person he should have ended up with, smart and loyal and genuine, and I couldn't stop thinking about it. I stared at her. That's what this is about? Something he said 2 years ago? You don't understand what it's like, Kay shrieked. To always be second best. To always have someone prettier or smarter or better standing in your shadow. I worked so hard to become perfect for him, to be everything he wanted, and you were just there, still in his head somehow. Kay, I barely know Tyler. I've met him maybe twice in my entire life. It doesn't matter. You existed. You were a possibility, and I couldn't let that stand. Brooklyn got out of her car. So you tried to erase her? Literally Photoshop her out of existence? Kay whirled on her. And you were supposed to be on my side. I paid you. You paid me to lie, Brooklyn said quietly. That's different. Kay looked between us, wild-eyed, and then she did something I didn't expect. She collapsed onto the driveway, sobbing into her hands, her tiara falling into the grass. My life is over, she wailed. Everything I built is gone. The wedding, Tyler, all of it. You built it on lies, I said, not unkindly, just stating facts. I know. She looked up at me, her face blotchy and destroyed. I know it was wrong, but I couldn't help it. Once I started, I couldn't stop. The lies just kept getting bigger and I couldn't find my way back to the truth. Part of me wanted to feel sorry for her, this girl I'd known for 12 years, who I'd shared so much of my life with. But then I remembered my address posted publicly, the photos, the accusations. You need help, Kay, I said. Real help, from a professional. Tyler's going to leave me. Probably, Brooklyn agreed. Kay started crying harder. Her parents' car pulled into the driveway about an hour later. Tyler was with them. He looked shaken, pale, but composed. Kay struggled to her feet. Tyler, baby, please. Let me explain. He held up a hand. There's nothing to explain. Your parents showed me everything. The lies, the theft, all of it. I can change. I'll pay them back. You stole jewelry from my mother, Tyler said quietly. I found it in your closet when I went to pack a bag. My grandmother's wedding ring. The pearls my mom inherited. You told me you bought them at an estate sale. Kay's face crumbled. I was going to give them back. When? After we were married and it would be too late for me to leave? He shook his head. I'm calling off the wedding, Kay. I'm sorry, but I can't do this. No, Kay lunged forward, but Patricia caught her. Tyler, please. I love you. You don't even know what love is, Tyler said. He looked at me. I'm sorry you got dragged into this. Kay told me so many things about you. All lies, apparently. It's okay, I said. I'm just sorry you had to find out this way. He nodded tiredly and walked back to his car. Kay screamed. Actual, full volume screaming. Patricia and James had to physically hold her back as Tyler drove away. Let's go inside, James said to his daughter. We need to talk about a lot of things. They guided Kay toward the house. She was still crying, still screaming accusations and apologies in equal measure. Before they went inside, Patricia turned back to me. Thank you for being brave enough to speak up. I know this wasn't easy. She's my friend, I said, then corrected. She was my friend. Brooklyn and I left soon after. As I drove home, my phone started buzzing with messages. Word had spread fast. Rob, holy shit! Tyler just posted on Facebook that the wedding's off. Jenny. Kay's maid of honor posted that the shower ended in disaster. What happened? Soren. Did you really show up with receipts? That's so badass. I didn't respond to any of them. I was exhausted, emotionally drained. All I wanted was to go home, take a hot shower, and sleep for about 12 hours. But when I pulled into my driveway, I found Kay sitting on my front porch. You need to leave, I said, not getting out of my car. Please, she said. She looked small, broken, nothing like the fierce bride to be from this morning. Just let me say one thing. Against my better judgment, I got out, but I didn't sit. I just stood there, keys in hand, ready to bolt if necessary. I'm sorry, Kay said, for everything. The lies, the photos, posting your address, all of it. I know it doesn't fix anything. I know you probably hate me, but I needed you to hear it. Okay, I said. That's it? Just okay? What do you want me to say, Kay? That I forgive you? That we can go back to being friends? I shook my head. You tried to destroy my reputation. You stole from your parents and your fiancé's family. You paid someone to literally erase me from your history. I don't know who you are anymore. I'm not sure I ever did. I'm sick, she whispered. That's not an excuse, but I think I'm actually sick. In my head. And I need help. Then get help. Real help. Not just because you got caught, but because you actually want to change. She nodded slowly and stood up. I'm going to. My parents are making me move back home. They're finding me a therapist. Canceling the wedding destroyed me, but maybe it needed to happen. Maybe. We stood there in awkward silence for a moment. For what it's worth, Kay said finally, you really were my best friend. Before I ruined it, you were the best friend I ever had. Then she walked to her car and drove away. I went inside, locked the door, and finally let myself cry. Not for Kay, not really, but for the friendship that died somewhere along the way. For the girl I used to know who maybe never existed at all. The next day, Kay's mother called me. They'd found more stolen items in Kay's apartment. Tyler's mother's jewelry, like he'd said, but also things from other people. Friends, relatives, even some of Tyler's belongings that Kay had kept as mementos. We're returning everything, Patricia said, and Kay will be facing consequences. Legal ones possibly. Tyler's mother wants to press charges. I understand. I also wanted you to know. We canceled the wedding officially. Contacted all the vendors. Sent out notices. Kay's in intensive therapy now. 3 sessions a week. That's good. I hope it helps her. Me too. Patricia paused. She asked me to tell you she's deleted all the posts. The photos, your address, everything. And she wants to give you something. I don't want anything from her. It's your things. From over the years. Apparently, she's been keeping a box of items you left at her place. Clothes, books, some jewelry. She wants you to have them back. We arranged for Patricia to drop the box off later that week. When it arrived, I almost didn't want to open it, but curiosity won. Inside were things I'd forgotten I was missing. A hoodie from high school, a book I'd loaned Kay junior year, a bracelet my grandmother gave me that I'd thought I'd lost, and at the bottom, a letter. I almost threw it away unread, but something made me open it. I know you'll probably never forgive me, it started, and I don't blame you, but I wanted you to know that cutting you out of my wedding wasn't about you. It was about me, about my own insecurities and delusions. Tyler did mention you that night, 2 years ago. We were at a party, still just friends at that point, and he pointed you out, said you seemed like someone he'd want to get to know better. Smart, funny, real, everything I was afraid I wasn't. Instead of becoming better, I tried to make you disappear. I convinced myself that if you didn't exist in my world, Tyler would never compare me to you, that I could be enough. But here's the thing I'm learning in therapy. I was never competing with you. I was competing with my own fear of not being good enough, and I let that fear turn me into someone I don't recognize. I don't expect forgiveness. I don't expect anything. I just wanted you to know that our friendship meant everything to me, even if I had a terrible way of showing it. You deserved better. You always did. I hope someday I can be the person you thought I was when we were kids, before I let my worst impulses win. I'm sorry for all of it. Kay. I read it twice, then put it back in the box. 2 weeks later, I got a friend request on Facebook from Tyler. I wanted to apologize properly. His message said, Kay told me a lot of things about you before we met. I let those color my perception. I should have gotten to know you myself instead of trusting her version of events. It's not your fault, I wrote back. She had a lot of people fooled. Can I ask you something? Did you know, before all of this came out, that she was lying about stuff? No. I knew something was off, but I didn't realize the extent of it. I feel like an idiot. We were going to get married, and I didn't know anything real about her. She's good at creating personas, I typed. She became whoever she thought people wanted her to be. That's not on you. We messaged back and forth for a while. He told me about finding the stolen items, about his mother's reaction, about the difficult decision to press charges. Part of me still loves her, he admitted. Or I love who I thought she was. It's confusing. That's normal. Grief isn't just for death, it's for the loss of what you thought you had. Are you still friends with her? I thought about that. No, but I hope she gets better. For her sake. That's generous of you. After everything she did. It's not generous. It's just, I spent 12 years caring about her. I can't just turn that off. But caring about someone doesn't mean letting them back into your life. About 3 weeks after everything imploded, our friend group organized a party. They called it a friendship celebration, but everyone knew it was really an anti-wedding party. It fell on what would have been Kay's wedding day. You don't have to come if it's weird, Rob told me when he sent the invitation. But honestly, I wanted to go. Not to gloat or to celebrate Kay's downfall. Just to be around people who actually cared about me, who believed me, who showed up. So I went. And every single person from our old friend group was there. Even people who'd RSVP'd yes to Kay's wedding. They all chose this instead. The party was in Jenny's backyard. String lights, a playlist of our high school favorites, way too much food. It felt like old times, back before everything got complicated. Speech, someone called out when they saw me arrive. No speeches, I laughed. But Jenny handed me a beer and clinked it with hers. To real friendships. The ones that survive the truth. Everyone raised their drinks. I looked around at these people. These friends I'd known for years. Some since middle school. Others since high school. A few from college. All of them posting pictures throughout the night with captions like, celebrating what matters and real friends show up. Kay would see them. I knew she would. Even if she deleted her social media, someone would send her screenshots. Part of me felt bad about that, but a bigger part of me felt freed. For 12 years, I'd molded myself around Kay's needs, her dramas, her constant requirement for validation, and I hadn't even realized I was doing it until she forced me out of her life. Maybe that was the real gift in all of this. Not the friendship ending, but the clarity it brought. My phone buzzed around midnight. An unknown number. I hope you're having fun at your party, the text read. I saw the pictures. Everyone looks happy. I'm glad. I mean that. Kay. I stared at the message for a long time, then deleted it without responding. The next morning, I woke up to a voicemail. It had come in around 3 a.m. Hey. Kay's voice was slurred, probably drunk. I know I shouldn't call. I know you don't want to hear from me, but I need you to know something. A long pause. I could hear her breathing, heavy and uneven. That thing Tyler said about you at the party 2 years ago, he wasn't wrong. You are the kind of person he should have dated. You're the kind of person anyone would be lucky to have in their life. And I threw that away because I was scared. I was so fucking scared of not being enough that I tried to erase the one person who always made me feel like I was. Her voice broke. I don't know how to be a good person. I don't think I ever learned. My therapist says I have patterns of behavior that go back to childhood. But honestly, I think I'm just broken. And I broke you too. Broke us. And I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Another pause. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I just wanted you to know that I see it now. What I did. Who I became. And it's eating me alive. The voicemail ended. I listened to it 3 times, then saved it. Not because I was going to respond, but because someday, maybe years from now, I might need to remember this moment. The moment when Kay finally told the truth. Make sure to click on the screen to watch another story.